Well, I'm back at it again. Real low intensity, steady state workout. So start the day off. So yeah. So found some shit out on YouTube University. You know what that is. Fucking searching YouTube and listen to other people. I mean, it's good info. Obviously, you got to take everything with, objectivity and common sense, logical. So, but a lot of science-based shit. You just gotta take out people's credibility. But so, I don't know, a month ago or so, came across some information on low intensity, steady state workout, and went down the rabbit hole, and it opened up to a aerobic and anaerobic thresholds. So one of the things I've been struggling with big time in my jiu-jitsu path is my cardio. Obviously, I'm fat, I'm overweight still, as you guys seen the other day with my dad bod to my gorilla mode. I got a beast in there, but it's just covered by a dad bod. It's covered by a dad. I still got to be a dad, but there's a motherfucking beast in there. Trust me. So, but there's also a bitch in there too. I'm not gonna lie. That bitch is the one that makes me eat ice cream on Sundays and shit. And makes me, I don't want to work out today. I want to eat something sweet. Hey Jason, don't you want to eat some pancakes this morning? Yes. So I gotta beat that bitch every day. I gotta beat that bitch out. So anyways, that's what I try to work on every day, through knowledge and just motivation, and then drive and passion and whatnot. So, motivation's only the spark. You gotta have that drive and passion to fuel, as a fuel. Something deep inside you has to want to be better, get better, do better, and whatever it is, doing it for your kids, find something. Do it as an example for your kids, but motivation can only spark the flame, but you gotta have a fuel source to keep that fucking engine going. So, but anyways, so I've been struggling, obviously, because I'm a bigger guy, with cardio during my roll sessions with jiu-jitsu. So I went down the rabbit hole trying to figure out pathways. So I came across a lot of information on cardio and how your body functions. It's fucking interesting shit. Really interesting shit. So we've all heard about aerobic and anaerobic. Obviously, aerobic being running, but biking, what have you, and anaerobic being lifting weights. But I'm sure a lot of you know this, that do work out and maybe went down the same rabbit hole. But there's an interesting scientific fact about these two types of systems, aerobic and anaerobic. And what I came to find out is, depending on your heart rate, is when these thresholds are triggered, and how much it makes a difference in your overall cardio. So the general rule of thumb is that to figure out you got to figure out your max heart rate. So to figure out your max heart rate, you take 220 and minus your age. And obviously it's a crude, not scientific, but some kind of logical but not logical mathematical equation, I'm sure. So obviously I'm 48, so that means 172 is my max heart rate, thereabouts, right? I don't know if that means your heart just explodes if you get above it, like boom, and you're dead. I have no idea. So, but I've been above it. So, I've hit 175 before, and got that runner's high. It's nice. But, anyways, get back on track here. So, the aerobic threshold, I believe, if I remember correctly, is 65% over your overall. So for me, that's right around 120, in that 120, 130 range, and right in there somewhere. So, and my anaerobic is 85%. So that's like 150, 155. Right in there somewhere. I did the math a month ago, and I just don't remember the exact. So, but obviously you can take a calculator and do the math. So here's the difference. Here's the difference on how it affects your body scientifically. Is that your aerobic exercise? It all makes sense. It's really just knowing the details. That if you know the details, I think you can get in there and start manipulating things correctly. So, aerobic exercises are fueled 100% by pure oxygen. So, your oxygen, you breathe in, it goes through the body. The muscles use that oxygen to as its fuel source. So, makes sense, right? Aerobic means air, all that shit. So, anaerobic, obviously powerlifting, stuff that is high intensity, strenuous, strength related. Use the glycogen fuel source, so it pulls glucose from your system. So the production of, or that process is what results in lactic acid, which is what makes your muscles sore. So makes sense. So here's the thing: when you have shitty cardio. And I always thought, well, just work the fuck out as hard as you can, right? But here's the thing, is that I've been doing HIIT workouts for a long time, high intensity. And yeah, it's improved my cardio, obviously, because it was a fucking shit show 5 years ago. It was a fucking shit show. So, couldn't even walk up a flight of steps without wanting to take a nap. So obviously improved it, but now I'm trying to get into the details. So, because recently, I still have problems in my jiu-jitsu rolls where if I'm going with somebody who's really intense and they're pushing the pace, I'm gonna gas out in 2 minutes or so, 1 to 2 minutes. Somewhere in there, depending on the intensity. And either I gotta ball up and get in turtle mode and highly defensive and try to get a breather while they're trying to fucking choke me and rip my arms off and shit. Or I gotta submit. So anyways, it's been my next challenge, my next focal point. So to get back to the basics here, what I've come to understand is that these two systems, so my aerobic threshold is in the 120s. Let's just call it 125. And my anaerobic is 155. So there's a 30-point difference there. When you're in that system, when you're in that in between, it's called the blend. And it's called the blend where you're using both systems. It's not an efficient, the anaerobic is not an efficient way of fueling your muscles, but it's necessary. So it's necessary whenever you go into that high intensity. So your heart rate, your heart can't keep up with the oxygen, so it needs to pull the glucose to fuel. This is where muscle fatigue comes, and obviously again, like soreness and lactic acid creeps in, and when you're working out or whatever, if you work out intensely, like with a lot of weight, and then you go try to pick up 10 pounds, you can't fucking do it. That's because you don't have any, your system hasn't replenished the glucose. But that's why it takes time. Your system is replenishing that glucose and bringing it to that area that you just blew the fuck out. And that's why you walk away, you come back and do 10 more reps or whatever. So, makes sense. So, here's the thing. So, you go back to the blend. So, the 125 to 155, when you're doing jiu-jitsu or anything, that's in that blend, obviously you're using both systems. So, there's a theory out there that if you do low intensity workouts, right, where you just tickle that 120, that 125, that 130, you just stay in that range, then now you're working that aerobic threshold. You don't want to get up in there too far because now you don't want to get too high in that register, because then you're going to go anaerobic, and now you're getting away from trying to raise that aerobic threshold. And the thought is that you train right there, which takes time, because what you have to do is instead of like high intensity workout, it's like 30 minutes go all the time. And this is an hour of just sitting right there at 120, 125. And what happens is, theoretically, whatever, maybe it's scientifically proven, I don't know, I'm trying it out, is that anaerobic threshold raises, and your blend spot becomes smaller. So what happens? You become more efficient. Become more efficient with your fuel sources, the fuel source you need to sustain said cardio workout, like jiu-jitsu, rowing, whatever. So I just want to say, so if you've been watching my videos and stuff, this is why I've been on the bike every morning, relentless, for at least 30 minutes, just doing what looks like just nothing big deal. No big deal. And being persistent with it. It's either half an hour to an hour. Depends, because my ass hurts. So I'm still fatty. My ass and my taint hurt right now. I'm sitting on this fucking bicycle seat. That's the only thing that stops me, to be honest with you, is I got a bruised taint from this and my balls are numb from sitting on this motherfucker. So, but anyways, yesterday kind of took a little bit of time off from jits just to heal up. I've been dealing with injuries and stuff. But yesterday, I went to jits. put it down. Put it down pretty good, I think. I mean, I was on point. The cardio was good. I was able to do a lot of back-to-back rolls that sometimes I can't do, especially depending on who I go against. Matsur, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that dude's a fucking beast. But anyways, keeping up with a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old that's fucking been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life. Came out to the fucking womb with a gi on. But got a lot of respect for him though. He's a good person. But anyways, it's how I measure. If I can, honestly, he's a good measuring tool for me because he's got a lot of strength. Him and I match well with strength. But his technique is just crazy and his cardio is out of the world. His abilities are something else. But yeah, I was able to go intense with him almost, there ain't nothing but intense when it comes to that dude. So I was able, he only tapped me once. Yeah, he only tapped me once, which I'm just telling you, that's something to get a medal for that guy. So it's something to hang your hat on. But more impressively for me anyways, I was able to roll with his intensity a lot better. And I'm going to contribute to this newfound low intensity, steady state working out that I'm doing. And that's maybe training that aerobic side of myself because I've always been intense in my workouts. So, but it's a whole nother perspective, a whole nother idea. And that's what it's all about. Just trying to progress for success, Just, you're going to find it in failure, that's for sure. You've got to get out there and try to fail. And because that makes you search. You got to try, fail, try again, fail again, try again, fail again. Because the failure is what makes you go search for answers. Always. So, but you can't get to the failure without try. So, anyways, I just wanted to share one of the big things and why I'm doing a little long speech and thing is to know that you're in low intensity steady state workout. The rule of thumb is as long as you can talk and you're in the anaerobic workout. So as long as you can carry on a conversation, it's a telltale sign that you're in the anaerobic workout. So anyways, if anybody ever wants to get into jiu-jitsu, let me know. It's been by far a huge benefit, and I'll tell my story of how I got to there because it's a good one. In one of these little snippets, but it's a good way to get your ass in gear and kick your own ass every motherfucking day. Beat the shit out of that bitch in you, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. So beat that bitch, whoop that trick, beat that bitch. Not winning, the bitch in you. Don't do that. We go to prison. So, but anyways, but you can legally beat the bitch that's inside of you every day. So, anyways, peace out.